And finally, we even got sufficiently ready to start, which was not in this case totally a given because, yeah, intended to wear the full bodysuit and put it together wrong, which was good to try it today and not like wondering why this doesn't work when actually at fluff, which was pretty much about to happen because yes, the padding is attached to an internal practically pair of leggings. Alright, so you can put the padding that forms the interior of the footballs in twisted so that practically it's impossible to insert a wearer. And that is exactly what succeeded at doing, so have to take the padding of the bodysuit apart again tomorrow after work to actually have it in a condition that actually admits the little detail of inserting a wearer, which we usually like. So did prepare otherwise, and then had some technical problems also for a moment, but apparently A, we are not dropping any frames, and B, we now have all the good things one usually likes to have, like video, audio, and most probably even game. So yes, it worked. It worked also about 1 hour later than would have liked it to work, but we take what we can. So indeed, welcome all, and hopefully you have had a good weekend. And we try to play War Thunder. Did all the tutorials, and it's like world of everything but combined into one game that feels like it plays on a faster pace, so we'll see. And indeed, welcome to all also new viewers. To know we at least have one joining us the first time, and again thank you for your photos. Was very happy to see those. So with our good beast ready, and thank you. And with our good beast ready and even looking very nice, let's then actually get towards the game. Let's see, first of all, do we get video? Yes, we do. There we are. And then let's see, where does the all right. There we go. Alright, urban map. Do not have, unlike, remember, almost all the maps in World of Tanks immediately. Here have much more limited experience, so let's take the Panzer III first to maybe slightly prefer it. It like is more fancy or whatever. There we go. Alright, let's go by the road here. Alright. Looks like the capture point is inside the building, so there isn't going to be much happening here. Let's go through the wall and see if we can find some trouble further south. Yeah, it would be nice. Alright, looks somewhat better. Partially also lack of experience in navigating this thing in Fursuit, that it's actually alright, very this choice of route was kind of how about not encountering anything? Alright. That's also alright. Still, this is like pretty much the first time that I've played the thing. Alright, that at least worked. Very experienced in World of Tanks, but this is actually like the first time that played a thing other than the tutorials that did shortly, so at least our side is winning, so it looks fair enough. Yeah, it's kind of like the World of Tanks developers also got very, very, very greedy. Like, they used to have most of the vehicle evolutions like as development, the tree, and then they started selling like the separate submodels of the same vehicle as separate vehicles that you have to buy. Like you started have the different Ausführungs even as separate vehicles you have to buy. Yeah. So it was indeed kind of not optimal. Alright, we actually did. Yeah, that's also kind of true that the economy is not very problem free in that respect. And do think they have gotten greedy in terms of like the special and prestige vehicles also. Have played it now and then, but it's been a while. So that went rather alright. Alright, so we can apparently now we take get the slightly newer Czech tank apparently. Alright, that doesn't cost much. Alright, and then we can research like, alright, that's kind of exotic. Yeah, let's do the flak puncher so you can shoot at air targets. Sounds like kind of requires a scenario where you actually have an air component, so alright. Yep, exactly. Alright, then we can do the neue Art. 38 or alright. Ausführung F. Yeah. Oh, the Panzer II for a bit more speed apparently. Yeah, and then we have the anti-air one. And the self-propelled artillery. Alright, so we can now also do the 38. Sure. Let's see how we are doing time-wise, so we know somewhat what. Oh yeah, and we get game audio also now that remember to turn it on. It's good after the first round. Alright, so we are about a quarter of an hour in actual terms because we had the 7-minute lead in. Good. Let's then do more. Maybe a different map, hopefully. And get lost a bit less, so. Alright, jungle. Yeah, that has interesting navigational problem with the bridges, because practically you can either get only down there or by the bridges into the other side. Alright, at least we apparently have the... It's not really better or worse, because one has one victory point, one is in the middle, so yeah, it's kind of equal. Alright, let's do the new 38. and there's the bridge. It's not very wide. At least we didn't break it, so that's a good start. Alright. Snipe. Works, and the bridge was where? Alright, it's actually the other way. At least this is a bit faster than the duck in the World of Tanks that was like this one specialty was doing the AMX 40. Right, there's no bridge either. Is it even further? Yep, the duck. At least we are winning, so alright, there's the bridge. It's not very wide. There we go. Alright. That was surprisingly short also. That went well. Alright, we apparently also received a reward or something good. First to destroy an enemy. Nice. That certainly was quite quick, the first one. Really. The other side had one player who destroyed one vehicle. That was somewhat one-sided. Oh. Hello there. Do not think have seen you here before, so welcome. Let's greet you properly on the main screen. So, we are indeed a very elegant werewolf and doing War Thunder tonight, at least for... Oh, welcome. Great to have you here. And we are doing War Thunder, very inexperienced, quite experienced in the world of tanks and the world of whatever, but this is the first time actually ever streaming War Thunder, so yep, it's a bit different and it plays in more like a bit faster way than to feel. So, let's continue. Do not even know how that works because very new with the game, so do not actually know how one even has other players join because have not tested that. But usually do like a community event when actually play with others because that would require also setting up like so that to have separate audio to oneself so that for example can do voice chat, so usually do set it up separately. We have had like once had VR chat community event and once Fortnite, so we'll probably to play properly with others joining, we'll probably do a separate event for that. But yes, thank you for joining. So let's try more. Alright, we are about half an hour in. Let's do the usual 1.5 hours most probably. I started quite a bit later than intended. Alright, apparently we can't buy every modification at this time, so... Alright. As said, can't do voice chat because do not have separate audio channel for that, like would be practical. So it's kind of like as do not have actual proper audio for that. It's kind of like, yeah, you can join, but coordination might be mildly limited as should have usually then do with that do have also separate audio for the fursuiter to do, for example, chat in game. So Alright, let's do the Panzer 3 first this time. This is again the factory map, and alright, we are practically facing the point B, so alright, that was impressive. How about some chemical fire? Alright, let's see in a moment. We'll first try to finish this round and we'll then see. Alright, zone captured, good. Then there would be 2 more. So how about some lateral movement? Alright, let's not cause another chemical fire. Alright, at least we are going to have a pretty good team control because all the zones have been captured. Alright, and directly to the... Alright, that was apparently sufficiently effective. Alright, the other team is not exactly stellar, I have to say. Alright, can't bring the wall structure down, fortunately. Alright. Hello, Tötika. That was kind of quick. When you get the fire to the rear of the vehicle, it's usually quite quick, like. And done. Alright. 2 captures in a row. Nice. Again, the other side mostly died. Yep. Alright, so let's see. Here. So, let's try. Considering do not have separate audio channel, will not for now use voice chat. So, yep, there we go. Certainly I'm ready. Alright. Oh, so being squad leader. Alright, do we need to use some kind of other mode? How does this work? Like what needs to be done differently to be able to start? This is the first time seriously playing the game, so apologies for most probably not knowing everything needed. That happens. Do need to apparently change the mode somehow, but what needs to be changed? Alright. How is that turned off? Or is it like that you can't? Sorry, this is not very intuitive, especially for a fursuiter. It is kind of. Do not think this is going to currently happen because it's not very evident what needs to be done. Alright. Yes, and if to make you the squad leader, can you then start something? Or... Yep. There we go now. Does something happen? Yes. Alright, so it's again not ready. Let's search for the cursor and... Alright. Alright. Thank you and apologies for not a smart werewolf. Alright, here we go. Alright, some gardening. Ah, there's yet another hill in the way. No wonder no spotting. Alright, there's our... Alright, it's nice to be repairing sideways. Yeah, that went well. Not totally surprising because we got stuck sideways. Sure, and we have spawn points, so... At least some trouble. Yeah. And this is even slower, so... Let's try to do a bit better. Yeah, it helps when like especially if the mix of vehicles isn't very advantageous. It would be nice to have some spotting. We do not actually see any opponents, so great. Alright, that's good to know. Indeed, as said, very new with the game, so... Alright. This looks like about the usual fate with tanks. Get stuck in a ditch. Yep. How about the trench crossing ability? Like, yeah, would like to have a tail like the early First World War tanks for trench crossing. Yep. Alright, let's see if we can move ourselves to a position where we can actually extricate ourselves. Like... So we became a pillbox. Alright. Novel position. At least our good ally is doing good work. We became a pillbox. Is there a function to reset vehicle? Alright. We do think we have really good viewers because we are stuck in a ditch, so that was interesting. Let's get stuck in the trench. Apparently we still got a reward, so our good squad mate in turn was quite useful. Very good. We are ready for sure, even more. Ah yeah, it's a realistic battle. No wonder there was no spotting. Apologies for... no problem, like I said, the problem is that should prepare like do community event if doing voice chat and didn't expect realistic battle as had ever tried the mode that was in, so let's see. All right. So the realistic mode then practically requires that you spot your target by their silhouette apparently, so yeah, it's realistic. It's also quite a bit more difficult. Alright, this isn't quite the Second World War when one looks at the cars, like the map looks like a bit newer. Hello there, Briarers. Alright, front. front hit even. Yeah, the realistic is quite difficult because you have no spotting. This is clearly a learning experience. Interesting. Alright, there is still spawn points. Can we even choose? Alright, you can choose respawn base, so let's see. It would be good to do something about B, because A is now held, so yeah, exactly. It's realistic, it's also rather more difficult. But of course, this is foremost like also have a major disadvantage as a fursuiter. The main idea with the thing is that a fursuiter plays games and the rest, like performance or such, not guaranteed. That might be the case. Or like infrared, infravision. There should be an opponent somewhere here, do you think, but it's like yep. Really. The realistic mode is much harder. Sure, like at least there probably is. Like, let's see if we can do something about slowly move towards C and try to shoot something, but the map makes it quite hard also. You drive from behind one wall and get even through the front one-shotted, so It's realistic, don't you say? Extra armor, like pushing the barrel, alright, it didn't last. Let's see about if we can help with point C. The 38T is even slower, but maybe can take a bit more frontal action, hopefully, because it's been like one-shotted from the front even, so. Alright, now the C is being held, so. Let's try to very slowly move our 38T over. If we can help in holding this at least, that would help the team. Water-filled plastic obstacles at least easier. If that would be concrete, it would be a bit demanding already, even with a tank to drive through, but yep. Yep. Alright. Close combat. And our tank finally moves. Good. Alright, we barely move, at least a bit more than before. Alright, and even more Reapers. Now we have only like yellow and orange modules, so yep. At least it moves, which is better than nothing. So let's wait here and try to defend. At least we are holding C. And we even destroyed some opponents. Yep, exactly. So, spectating. Planes. Do not think that actually have planes like should probably enable that somewhere that can also choose a plane, because it only shows tanks when starting to things. So have not yet experimented with adding the planes. Do know that there should be some. But yeah, that was actually nice. Did even succeed in destroying something in the realistic mode, which was a positive surprise. Alright, biplane. Alright, here's our good squad mate with the nice tactical square markings and the A13 Mark 1. Yeah, do remember the A13 from World of Tanks. So here we go, again the point A, which we are still winning, so and indeed, hello Gunsmith Jacks also. Yeah, it looks to be going surprisingly well even. Yeah, our squad mate is clearly a professional, would say. Alright, almost won. Yep. Alright, let's see some statistics. And we got a lot of crew number 3 earned skill points. Sure. Element of surprise. Element of surprise. Tank rescuer defended friendly ground unit. Double strike destroyed 2 player vehicles in a row. Adamant takes some hits, stay alive. That was certainly true. And we were at least moderately successful. Sure. Improved FPE. You have researched all modifications in the tire. Okay. Alright, so we can increase skills. Alright. Keen vision, field repair, agility, vitality, tank driving. Fair enough. Alright, be right back. Alright, we'll leave then for now and do one by oneself and then finish, because we are approximately approaching the 1.5 hours. So we'll do one oneself and then do finishing steps to show the fursuiter. So thank you for playing with this one, and we'll leave the squad for now and do arcade one oneself for now. That was nice. Let's do the arcade one again. So we have, let's study the topic of how do we actually have planes, like if we want to add a plane. Let's do one arcade one and then finish for tonight. Yeah, already just started one alone, but thank you. It was fun to at least do the same battlefield, so thank you, and we'll play this alone and then finish for tonight, as we are approaching the 1.5 hours. Started like an hour later than intended due to trying a different thing with the fursuit and not really getting along, so, or like not really getting the thing together quite as intended, as explained in the beginning. So now we again have spotting, and we are going altogether in the wrong direction. There we go, now we can even go to the right place. Nice downhill also. Alright, someone also took the bridge. Alright, they are done and we are not, so... No problem. It's clear. It's clear now, it's a different thing. That was quite easily clarified once someone told that, because I had just chosen what was the default in the menu, because this is the first time that I actually played the game other than tutorial. So start in Fursuit, of course. Alright, there's like some artillery or some other fun thing, so... Yeah, no problem. It's very understandable that this was a bit different thing, and fair enough. Very much a learning experience also. Alright, that was quick. Yep. At least we are doing like about 10 times better, so... Main issue currently is A, so let's start here and drive. This is also, have noticed, this is different. It has no spawn point, it just counts how many times you can spawn. Ah yeah, the ships have not tried yet, other than the motorboat in the tutorial. Alright, and we are very gradually moving. There we go. Yeah, alright, and that was again very quick. Like, was that some much better vehicle apparently? But yeah, at least we did a good amount of damage. Like, yeah, just one knocked out also. This isn't very useful currently, like more useful to try something here. But yeah. At least the match is still going quite well, but it would be good to capture these back. Let's see, at least they have been captured, so not a total waste of effort. Alright, just not able to go that way. Alright, victory. Alright, this match was more even than the previous one. Good. You have researched tracks. Often a popular feature in a tank. Alright, you have researched all modifications for the tire. Very well. And now we have done almost 1.5 hours, so let's switch to the Fursuit view. And indeed, need to fix the bodysuit a little tomorrow after work, but otherwise this actually went rather well, and we are back at this streaming thing. And also thank you for the follow. Of course, appreciated playing together with you, even if the level of cooperation was unoptimal, because usually have separate audio channel for voice chat when have a community night, but fair enough, that was fun. So thank you, and let's see who we will raid, who is doing what. Exit the game first of all. Thanks for the stream. Indeed, we did have some tank action. So let's see who is doing what and who is in need of a raid. Voidbird is playing dispatch. Let's see. Are they still, and how long? 3 hours. Are they still doing the thing? It looks like they are. Yeah. Let's go for them. It's been a while in general, so there we are. So, thank you all for joining, and we'll be leaving on Tuesday morning towards Fluff, so we'll be back at streaming activity in slightly over a week. Thank you all, and be well. we'll see in a week. Thank you. It will be last convention proper for this year, and actually joining the photography team there, so a bit different position again, convention staffing wise. So thank you all, be well, and see you in a week for more gaming.